to Knit One, Heart 2.
Episode 192.
I'm Sheila, also known as Sheila D37.
And I'm Wendy, also known as Penny Winnie. Thank you, repeat offenders, for returning. And if you're a new offender, thank you for checking in.
We're always offending someone.
Are we though?
No.
I was going to say.
As a matter of fact, I can't tell you how many compliments I get.
Except the time when we got the deodorant. But that turned out not to be.
Oh, I know. We didn't mean any offense to anyone on
that turned out to be an accident. That was actually, someone had actually contacted me about that, and I just forgot.
Oh. Blame it on her.
Do you mind if I send a product that I really like? And I was like, no, if you like it, sure, send it along. But there wasn't anything. It came directly from the company, so I didn't know.
Anyways.
So, I don't even know what I'm saying now.
We're doing a knit along this month, and we've decided to do warm colors to kind of, keep most of us warm. Red, anything pink, red, orange, or yellow, and it's going to be a decent amount of color to call it part of the knit along.
Yeah.
Sorry, the cat's chewing on something.
Stealing some trash. There are headphones in there.
Okay, thanks. So, any project, socks, hats, sweaters, anything, baby hats.
As long as they are
a majority of that
primary component of pink, red, orange, or yellow.
This would qualify. That would qualify.
Yeah.
Your finished object would qualify. And heck, even that would qualify.
Yep. I know. What the heck?
So, we're not picky. It doesn't have to be like 10% or something.
No, it just needs to have it like, not just one line of it or something, but like some...
See this little speck right here? This is pink.
Oh my gosh. What is
wrong with her? A little bit more than a speck. Your sweater would qualify.
I know. This has a lot of orange in it. And a lot of
If I knit my top, that would qualify too, but I didn't knit my top.
Oh, my old lady cat is driving me crazy.
She's time to go to bed.
I know. She's 19.
Anyways.
So the other thing that I wanted to say is a couple weeks ago, I showed the yarn for the tousle hat, which I actually have right here.
And then one cat decides to tear
the coach up. So this is the hat that we're going to draw a winner for at the end of the show. Not the hat, but the pattern. And one person's going to win the yarn. And it's made with the Spunky Eclectic Tousle, and then the gathered part is made with her baby panda, which I said to Sheila I kept referring to in my head as Sad Panda, and that I thought somebody ought to make a colorway. And guess what? Somebody did! Fibernymph uses Sad Panda as a joke with her daughter. And she and she has decided, after seeing my show, she thought, what the heck, I'm going to make a colorway. This is Sad Panda from Fibernymph.
And
I know.
I think a message just showed up on that.
It did. I don't know what it said, but anyway.
Lisa's awesome.
Lisa is awesome. That is Sad Panda. It's going to go live on Friday. It's 3 shades of blue. The blue stripe is variegated. So it's one black, one white, and one blue that will be knit up every other color change, made of 3 shades of blue because it's variegated.
Cool.
So, yes, Lisa, you can get Sad Panda on Friday. And yes, Lisa, I would love some Sad Panda. This is the second yarn that I've named.
I don't know that I'd be interested if she would hold something for me.
Yeah, I'll let her know.
All right. Sorry.
So, I don't know what
What's wrong?
I just was reading something. So I just wanted to see what that message was that came across the screen. One of the houses that they looked at doesn't have a railing on the stairs. We're looking at various options for a trip, and we decided we want to stay at a place that has railing on the stairs. It's just safer that way. Mm-hmm. So anyway, Friday, Fibernymph update if you want to get your Sad Panda. New colorway. I'm very excited. And I was saying, that's the second colorway that I've named. The first one is
Atomic
flower pot, because that's what I kept calling this colorway that I'm wearing, which was Flower Shop Inferno, but in my head it was Atomic Flower Pot, and then Rachel actually dyed a yarn called Atomic Flower Pot. Yeah. I like it. Anybody out there wants a colorway name? Just call me up. I got tons of them.
Sure you do.
Tons of them. All right, so that's it for shout-outs. Like I said at the end of the show, we are going to draw 3 winners for the Tousle contest, so stay tuned for that. And on the dance card, I have 2 things on the dance card. The first thing is this white birch fiber arts sock yarn in This Is How We Roll colorway.
Something to that effect, yes.
It's either How We Roll.
I think it's just How We Roll.
I don't know. I don't know what I did with the label. But anyway, it's like a red gradient that goes from like red to pink to red, navy blue and white. And I am knitting the Swirl E period socks, which I accidentally referred to on Instagram as Stripe E socks, but that was wrong.
Oh, all right.
Swirl E sock pattern. And it's really simple. It's just a purl stitch that swirls around the foot. I believe that the pattern is written for cuff down, but like as usual, I just used my normal thing, and I did it.
Did you reverse engineer it, or did you just knit it at?
Oh no, it's a free pattern. So
no. I don't mean that. I mean it's written down for cuff.
It's written for cuff down. I just took the stitch pattern. It's you can do it on 64, 72, and then there was a smaller amount to like 58 or something. There's like 4 different sizes you can knit it on, so I picked 64 because that's what I usually do. And I just worked the pattern toe up and followed my usual toe and heel. I did a fish lips kiss heel. And it's really relaxing and easy. I think I started this on Monday, and I only knit on it Monday and Tuesday. 2 days I got the foot done, so that's pretty fast. I love this yarn. This is the yarn that Sheila gave me for Christmas, and it's so squishy. It's just delightful. I did my fade to black socks that I was calling the Pink Floyd socks because it reminded me of Dark Side of the Moon.
Right.
Are from the same dyer. I love her stuff. And it was so funny because I had this in my shopping cart for like almost a whole day, and then I decided not to buy it, and Sheila didn't know this, but she got it for me for Christmas, so I got it anyway.
That's funny.
I know. Isn't that weird? But I love it. I think it's so pretty. And so I'm doing this one, striping it this way, and then the second one I'm going to make the stripe go in the opposite direction so that it's mirror image. And once I get a little bit farther past the heel, this slanty thing will go all the way around the leg. And like I said, it's a free pattern, and it's just basically knitting and purling. The swirl is done with purl stitches, so it's really once you get you get it set up, you just go.
You're just offsetting it.
That's you just offset it, and it's really easy to do. And I am putting this in my Thing 1, Thing 2 bag, which Lois gave me because my kids are Thing 1 and Thing 2. And I picked that bag because it goes so well with this. And I have a matching Notions case from Stitch by Jess Lou with little robots that's in the same aqua and red colorway. So I thought that was really cool. I like it when my project bag matches. So that's number 1 on the needles. Number 2, what a nightmare I've had with this. So I started the Christmas sock, and I actually got up another, I'd say like maybe 12 rows above this, up past Santa's belt. These are all my little bobbins that you can see. Mm-hmm. And what I'm doing is I'm knitting this. I knit it toe up. I cast on 8 stitches for each side and did a toe up sock. I did a fish lips kissed heel instead of doing a gusseted heel. And I'm joining this in the round, and I think the join, you can see definitely the bump because there are doubled stitches there, but I think it looks pretty good. So I was happy with that. I actually used the twin stitch wrap from Fish Lips Kiss Heel to do instead of doing wrap and turn, I twinned the stitches. Worked great. If you have done a Fish Lips Kiss Heel, I use the technique that she uses for wrapping stitches. Looks good. You can see where it is, but it's nice. So I'm happy with it.
I mean, it's going to
be sideways anyway. Yeah. But I think it makes a nice, neat join. And so anyway, I got going and I got up to Santa's belt. And at some point, the way that you do the intarsia, so you can see it's intarsia. I'm weaving my ends in as I go so that it doesn't drive me crazy. Okay. So at some point, I'm doing my usual thing where I knit around a row, knit, wrap and turn, knit around a row, purl, wrap and turn. That's how you join the back. At some point in the middle of a row, I put it down, and I think when I started, I went back in the wrong direction.
So you should have continued to say
I should have continued to purl or knit, and I went in the opposite direction. And I got up quite a few rows, and I'm like, why is there a giant hole there? And it was just it was a huge mistake. So then I got the joy of unpicking ends that I had woven in and ripping back. And it isn't easy to rip back intarsia. I don't recommend it. I had a lot of problems getting it down to a manageable level. I'm still not sure if I'm down to the right level. I'm going to have to check. I had to put it aside because I was like, it's too much. I have to concentrate on it. That's when I cast on the sock. So that's what it is. But this part, the foot part, only took me half an hour. This is really fat yarn. It's really, I was halfway done with the sock until I had to rip it out. So that's going well.
What size needles is that on?
8s. Okay. That's what you're supposed to knit that red heart with, so I just used 8s. I'm knitting it on my, signature needles, which are out of the project right now because I just ripped it back, but these are my interchangeable signature needles. And I have it in my gnome bag with Jessalou gnome pouch. And I love this because it has little mushrooms inside.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why, but gnomes just kind of reminded me of elves. And I don't know. That's how I themed this bag.
Okay.
That's all I have on the dance card.
All right. I am still working on my Easy Shawl by Martina Bem. I'm using Gypsy Girl Creations Transition Yarns in the Peony colorway. This red part of the yarn is long. So I finished one skein. I'm using 2 skeins of the gradient. And I'm just trying to finish my row. So I didn't actually knit all the way to the end of one skein because I was thinking of maybe doing tassels, but I really wanted the green to show up on the other end. So
yeah,
because I really like the green. So this is all I have left. Well, this is what I have left of the skein. I'm almost done with this red. And then it goes into a brownie because the red and the green mix, so you get a little bit of mud color.
Yeah.
But I still have a ways to go.
Oh, yeah.
So this is what it is so far. I'm probably halfway through the second half.
Yeah.
And I hope I have green because I'm just really... who knows, maybe I'll just knit back and forth or something. I don't know. But mine's coming kind of crescent-y like yours. You can kind of see it crescent a little.
I don't know. Maybe other people blocked them and it blocked that way because mine just naturally
Yeah, I kind of like it this way.
Yeah, it doesn't have a rough edge.
No, it doesn't. It's really kind of nice. So it's a Gypsy Girl. It's really simple. It's an easy pattern. And once you do 1 or 2 rows to set up, you don't have to look at the pattern again. So that's one thing on the needle. I'm just trying to power through so I can show it.
Yeah, I really like
Is it a free
mine.
pattern?
No, we got it as a gift.
Okay, that's right. Yes, that's right.
From Katie D.
I'm like, how did we... I'm sorry. Yeah, so it's...
I don't think it's free.
I don't think it is either. So I'm about halfway through the second half of it. I like... you didn't like the ridge. Yeah. I like the ridge. So this is the ridge you get from joining the two halves together while knitting.
She likes that. I like the other side better.
And I'm slipping as to purl.
Right.
Where the directions said slip as if to knit. I don't think it really makes that much of a difference.
I couldn't tell that much of a difference between the two of them.
But I just like the green as the edges. I think I'll like that.
Yeah, I think it's pretty.
So, I'm getting there. It'll come along when it comes along. My second thing that I'm knitting or I cast on. Oh, I don't have the finished one. That's right. I knew something was missing.
Just send me a picture of it.
So, I was knitting on the Lined Beanie by Heather Kine?
K-I-N-N-E. It's Heather from Highland Handmaids. I don't know how to say her last name.
I don't know either. Sorry. I finished it, and I love it.
She'll rate your date.
Oh, yeah.
She'll show it and rate your date. I don't know why we're doing it.
I don't know why, because I'm thinking...
You're making another one,
I'm making another one for my son, Max. He liked it so much. He's funny. He's like, I'd be more than happy to wear this over this. I'm like, yeah, no, that's for your brother. So he wants one. He wanted one in the opposite colors that I made the hat. But I'm like, yeah, that's too bad because I'm out of those colors. So I started, this is going to be the inside. It's just gray. It's, the inside of the Lined Beanie is just great because you can make it with any scrap you want because no one's going to see it.
No one's going to see it. It's on the inside.
But he wanted, I said, I can buy the colors that you want or we can find some wool. He likes these two colors. Yeah, I guess they do match. Yeah, so they primary, it's probably going to be this because I'm more of a heathered person for him.
Yeah. And
then I'll probably do some striping with this. Probably not the same striping because I don't know.
Where did you get that yarn?
Old stash. I want to say, believe it or not, I bought it from Jen a long time ago.
Oh, yeah, I kind of remember that.
Yeah, I don't even know where it came from. To give you a general idea, it says $6 and $6.75. I'm pretty sure Cascade 220 is not $6.
Not anymore.
No. So it's Cascade 220 wool, which I gotta remember to wash it carefully when I wash them.
Not super wash.
Not super wash, but they came out really good and squishy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's this is more mindless than anything. I'm just trying to power through. Not that I don't like knitting this, but I just want it done now. Because it's like I have other things I want to knit.
Yeah, you've got startitis.
I do. I have a bit of startitis that I haven't started. The only thing I started was that hat, but I haven't started anything else, so I gotta finish.
Yeah.
It's not like I start a lot of things.
No, that's unusual for you to go through this.
I know.
So is that it for on your needles?
My needles, just two things. I gotta keep it minimal because I don't have enough time to knit one thing on my needles, never mind two. Unless my husband's driving somewhere. But.
So, rate your date. I have one finished project. I actually had to take these off my feet because I was wearing them today. I forgot that I didn't show them. These are my Jeck socks.
I like them.
In Desert Vista Dye Works. Second helping colorway. I love muted rainbow. I like how these are not your typical rainbow colors. They're kind of muted.
No, they're nice. Hence the name.
And I love the
pattern.
Jeck design. I will totally knit Jeck again. That was such an easy pattern.
Good.
Once again, I don't know. The Jeck pattern is free. I don't know how the Jeck pattern is written, but I knit these toe up. I used the stitch pattern from Jeck. I did an fish lips heel, and I knit just 1 by 1 ribbing at the top. So, and I usually make my leg the same length as my foot.
Which you never used to.
No, but now it doesn't bother me because it goes so fast.
Yeah.
So
yeah, because you're not doing the gusset or anything.
Yeah, I'm not doing the gusset, so I don't mind doing it.
Oh, that's good.
I used to do short cuffs because I hated knitting the socks so much. By the time I got past the heel, I was like, I want it to be over with.
Oh.
And now I don't mind so much. So yeah, I really liked those. I liked the colorway. And I wore them today for the first time. I forgot that I hadn't shown them. Otherwise, I would have held off. But when I saw them, I'm like, ooh, I'm going to wear those. I haven't worn those yet. So I think that's my first pair of finished socks. Is that that's my first pair of finished socks in 2015.
It's only 14 days into it, but...
And it's like the 10th pair of socks I've made since October. 9th or 10th. So that's crazy for me, but like I said...
Having a bit of a meltdown here.
Oh, what happened?
No, I'm ready to lose, I think, my stitch here. I think my needle, I'm doing interchangeable, and I think it's starting to, I gotta...
Unscrew?
Yeah, I gotta try, and the yarn keeps catching on it, so...
Oh, I didn't tell you about my needle problem. I'll...
Do that in Crushes and Heartbreaks.
I will. Are you ready to do your
hat? Do you have one of the little lock key thingies? I don't have my interchangeables with me.
I don't have them. I don't have
wait a minute. I think maybe
I don't have one close to hand.
I can probably finagle something. So I have that one finished object that for some reason I wasn't even thinking. I was just thinking about what was on my needles. So it's the Lined Beanie by Heather of
Highland Handmaids. Fiberista Files.
Yeah, that's why I was thinking Fiber. I'm like, no, I know Fiberista Files. Heather Kine from Fiberista Files, or her name is Fiberista Files.
Unwrap.
No, she's Heather Highland Handmaids, but her podcast is the Fiberista Files.
I thought her name on Ravelry was also Fiberista Files.
Whenever I look her up, it's Highland Handmade. But that might be where the pattern is published. That might be why. Anyways, Lined Beanie. Worsted weight. I did it with Patton's Classic Wool. It was leftovers. So I don't have a picture of the inside. This is the outside. I did blue and gray. I saw the stripe pattern on the project page. And it's actually a little different because the stripe pattern was 5 to 10, 5. And I did 6, 3, 12, 6, I don't know. I'm going to do a different stripe pattern. This is my oldest son wearing it. That's me wearing, let me just tell you. I love the top. You kitchener stitch the top.
Mm-hmm.
And I love it because you don't have that little hole at the top that you are afraid is going to come undone or need to put a pom-pom on it or something. Do you know what I mean? It just gives it a more finished look to it. I really love how she did the top. And he loves it. Funny story, though. He lost it briefly. And I yelled at him. I ended up having the mom get involved at the other house to find it.
But she found it.
She did find it because she did a real look instead of I can't find it.
It's not jumping out and biting me on the nose, so it must be gone forever. Yeah, he almost lost his knit-worthy status there.
He did. He was very close to it. Very, very close to losing his knit-worthy status. But, so that's finished. And if I looked better in hats, I'd make myself one. But I might make something similar for a headband.
Oh, yeah.
Because the double knit really is nice and thick.
Yeah, that would make a nice warm headband.
It would.
Good idea.
So, yeah. So I might do something like that.
So that's it for Rate Your Date. Whirlwind Romance. Well, tomorrow is the 15th.
Oh, yes.
On the 15th is when my new project starts. I am not done with my old project. I'm close to done. Yeah, I'm very close. You just have to fill in the design in those.
Oh, wow. You are close. Is that something you think you could finish tonight?
I might be able to. I'm going to try. I didn't finish my sister-in-law's thing, but I'm not as worried about that because it's not a lot of work. I really want to get this big thing off. But, if I don't start this on the 15th exactly, if it takes me a couple of days, that'll be fine. I definitely have to have this done before I start the other one just because I know otherwise it'll get shoved to the side.
Right.
And I need that frame for the project too, so that's motivating me. So I really need to work on that. I haven't worked on the cross stitching for a couple of days. I just wasn't in the mood for it, so that's why I got behind. But it's a couple of hours of stitching. It's all one color. Only the navy blue left. I did all the blue, so it'll be easier. It's a lot easier when you're just doing one color. You just keep changing the color and doing everything in a clump. So it won't take too long.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so it's almost done. I'll show it to you next week when it's I'll iron it and everything, and it'll be done. I think I'm going to have that professionally framed because I'm going to put that in my craft room. Cool. So I'm excited about that. But that's all I have for Whirlwind Romance. I do want to spin something. I was talking with my friend Diane in Oz the other day, and about what that was my foot.
Oh, okay.
About what we had bought at Rhinebeck. And I didn't buy very much at Rhinebeck. I won stuff, and I was swapped stuff, and I got a bunch of free stuff, but I only bought like 3 things at Rhinebeck. So when I was looking to see, I realized that I had this gorgeous loop bat that's rainbow but with black in between each of the colors, and I'm like, I really want to spin it for sock yarn and make self-striping sock yarn out of it.
Oh, there you go.
So I think that's what I'm gonna do. That would be really pretty.
So I'm just trying to tighten up my needle.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, safety pin will work.
Oh, that'll work.
I knew
I would have given you a key, but it's like it's inside my storage hassock. So
no, I keep a safety pin everywhere. I have one on my bag. I have one on my sleeve. People ask me why. I'm like, I don't know. You never know when you need a safety pin.
You should need one.
Now I know why.
Good idea. So, yeah, I will hopefully have a little progress on the Storytime sampler starting next week.
And some spinning? When?
Spinning? I don't know if I'm going to be able to start the spinning next week, but I definitely want to put that on my wheel and have that as a sort of palette cleanser before I go back to the sweater that I'm spinning for. I'm like halfway done with the sweater that I am spinning for, so I really need to...
Now, are you spinning that for the heat fudu, whatever it's called?
No.
Oh, no, that's right.
I'm using some other yarn for that. And that would be future dates. I'm going to do Hito Fude sweater in Enchanted Knoll Farm sock yarn in this gorgeous green colorway. I bought it at the Fiber Revival in Newburyport last summer. She had 4 skeins of it. I bought every skein that she had available because it's so pretty. And I have the pattern ready, and there are a couple of my friends that are going to knit it too, so we'll do like a little knit along. I don't know when they're going to be ready to do it, but when they're ready, I can knit it anytime. I'll just cast it on when they do and have a knit along, so I'm excited about that.
Oh, good.
So that's my future date.
My future date, I was thinking about it, and one of my favorite things to wear, and you see it a lot on here, I don't have it on right now, is the Color Affection by Vera Valimaki. And I knit it in the Pashmina.
Yeah.
So I was looking through some stash, and there was some stash that I had for sale that I pulled them out. I'm like, oh my gosh, these would make great colors together. So it's kind of odd for me because I'm not one to knit things without being similar fibers or names. Like, we each have our own little hang-ups. So I'm going to knit a Color Affection shawl, and these are the colors I'm going to use. You can't see them all. Hello.
There you go. So pretty.
That's actually not far from the actual colors there.
Yeah, that's a pretty good
So I was going to start with the gray, because I started with the gray last time, and it looks really good in the beginning. And then it will go gray to maroon, then gray, maroon, and blue, and end with the blue. And I think the blue will work better just because it kind of matches my eyes. And
I don't know if I would call this maroon so much as I would call it purple.
See, I call it burgundy. Wine. I think it's wine. The name is Wine Before Roses, I think the name.
It has wine in it, but I think it's purple.
To me, it's either maroon, burgundy, or wine. I had this conversation with a coworker of mine about you and your color sense and me and not. No, I'm sorry, my friend. We were talking about it on Saturday. Were your ears ringing on Saturday?
I guess
because we were talking about you.
I can't help it.
It's
too blue to be red.
I know.
Sorry.
I didn't say it was red.
That's why I love my girl Denise. She has the same weird color thing as me, and she gets me. Denise gets me.
I don't.
You don't get that part.
No, I don't. I just don't see it. That's my problem. It's my problem. I'm not saying it's your problem. I'm saying it's my problem. Anyways, I'm going to go with Socks at Rock in medium weight, which they're very similar. Yeah, they're all very similar. And light gray. This is a mill end, so I don't even have a color for you. This is Handmaiden Casbah. Sorry, I'm putting an R on it where it doesn't belong.
New Englander.
This has 81% merino. This is 100% merino. Pure merino, right? Superwash merino. This is 81% 9% cashmere and 10% nylon. And then this is String Theory hand dyed Bye Bye Blues and the Caper Sock, which is 80-10-10.
That's what I just made my mom's mitts out of that she wanted me to make. Remember before Christmas? I made that was from the same consolation club that we got.
Oh, all right. So I'm gonna do this. I looked at my project page. It took me almost 2 months last time.
Yeah.
It's gonna take me a while just because I'll probably have a sock on the needles as well. But I'm excited about it, so I have to try and finish this. And the hat won't take me but any. Won't take me.
I just really like those colors. I think those colors look good on you, and I just like the way they look together.
Well, I like it because, I mean, I always talk about how I'm knitting for myself. Let's face it, I don't knit for myself.
Hardly ever.
I hardly ever. The only thing I knit for myself are socks. But that is one of my favorite scarves that I always go towards. And this will probably be another one. So if I have the two of them to go back and forth with.
Yeah.
But I still like making them. This will go in the bin.
You won't keep that? I think that one's really pretty.
I might. I've come to realize that I do like the triangular ones, but I like the longer ones. It depends on how long it is, how much I might be able to block it to. I really like the color affection because it's big.
Yeah.
Not only is it big lengthwise, but it's widthwise.
Yeah.
Like this is nice, but this is as wide as it really is, right? Pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, and it's nice. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm trying to think what else I've knit that there's just, I don't know. Matter of fact, I was my boss's birthday's on Friday, and I think I already know what I'm giving her.
What are you giving her?
The trillion and the Cherry Tree Hill Silver Streak that I made, the black and white.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That was inexpensive yarn, so.
Yeah.
I don't mind giving her that. And she wears a black coat, so I think it will be good. If I had made this a while ago, she probably would have gotten this. Because sometimes I have to sit on things that I've made.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't unless it's made specifically for a person.
Yeah, I hear
But,
you.
yeah. I was looking at some of the other things. I still have that Woolmeise shawl that I made. That's still sitting around. That's the mystery one.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. The only thing I absolutely make for me is usually socks. This, however, because I like my other one so much, will be for me.
Oh, yeah.
And I brought my stuff over in a bag that I made. If anyone is ever interested in making a bag, like inexpensive, this is a t-shirt bag. What you do is this is my son's t-shirt. It was from the Pediatric Transplant Center from an N-Star Walk at Children's Hospital. If you have a t-shirt that you don't want to necessarily get rid of, all you should do, it's really simple. It's on Do It Yourself. You sew the bottom.
Together.
Inside. Yeah, I can show it to you. You sew the bottom. I just did a zigzag stitch, I think. Literally, this is the hem of the t-shirt. Just did a zigzag stitch, and I'm not a sewer. I just find this fun. And then you cut the collar. Oh, there goes the yarn. You cut the collar because it's usually not wide enough. And you cut the sleeves, and that's.
And you could, if you wanted to, hem around those with a stretchy stitch on your sewing machine, but you don't even have to because t-shirt stuff doesn't really ravel that much.
It really doesn't. I mean, it's got a little bit, but this is almost like it's like a little grocery bag.
Yeah.
You know, so if there's a t-shirt that might mean something to you. This
that
one
you don't
kind of
wear
meant
anymore,
something to me.
that your kids outgrew.
Yeah, this one kind of meant something to me. And I just, it's an interesting idea.
That's so Pinterest crafty.
It was before Pinterest came out, I think.
I don't think so. I think you did it recently.
This one, no. I've had this one for a while. I just don't use it.
I thought you did one recently. Maybe it's a different one.
No, I've only made one because, unfortunately, my sewing machine really does not have easy access.
Also, that part is broken.
No, that's fine. I just taped that together.
It's broken off, but she tapes it back on.
It wasn't broken off. It was broken so that it goes down. It's easy enough to fix. But it's just a quick little bag.
Paranoid about that part on my sewing machine because of yours getting broken like that. Whenever I put it in the case.
But that was because I tried to force it.
Whenever I put it in the case, I'm like,
force it.
I don't know.
I don't know, but either way,
from your experience.
It's a cute little bag if you're ever interested in doing it. If you're interested in doing it, I have the link, so let me know. I can always send it to you. It's really simple.
Yeah, PM her if you want the link to that, because either that or you can PM or email me the link and I'll put it in the show notes.
Yeah, or just Google t-shirt bag.
Yeah.
So that's all for future dates for me.
Baubles and Bling, I got nothing.
I got nothing. I am not planning on buying any yarn until Rhinebeck.
Are you cold sheeping it?
I guess so. I never even heard that.
Me either until today.
I've never heard of cold sheeping.
There's a group that does something called cold sheep. I think it's supposed to be like cold turkey.
Which is what we do usually for at least the first 3 months of the year anyways.
And, so anyway, there's a group and apparently you just don't buy yarn. And honestly, I always say that I'm on a yarn diet, but the reality of it is, if I have stuff in my stash that will work for what I want to do, I'll knit with it. If I don't have something in my stash that will work for what I want to do, I'll buy it. If I'm at a festival, then if something catches my eye, I'm gonna buy it. So I don't really swear off buying things, but I am more conscious of how much I buy because I have so much in my stash. Right. So, like at Rhinebeck, I was saying I bought very little because I have so much. And I got this at New England Fiber Festival. This was in barter, so I actually didn't pay for this. And I bought a couple of skeins of sock yarn there.
Well, I always say that I'm not going to buy anything because what happens is I look at the pretty yarn that I see for sale. I'm like, oh, that's really pretty. And then I think, you know what, though? I have some really pretty yarn in my stash. And so I'm never not buying it. It's just I really, really, you're aware, like you said, of your stash. You have more than me. But I'm aware of what I have, and I know that I have pretty jewel tones because I tend to gravitate to the jewels. That's the thing. What I gravitate towards, most likely I have something like that in my stash.
Sometimes I gravitate towards something that I already have in my stash.
Literally.
That's why I always keep my phone with me so I can check.
Don't own a lot of right now is self-striping, but I'm not on that self-striping kick like you are right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of obsessed with self-striping right now because it motivates me to do these socks, and honestly, I think I'm going to be able to throw away all the socks that need to be repaired because I'm replacing them. So that's really good. And the thing about sock yarn too, I never feel bad about sock yarn because I know that if I don't make it into socks, my mother will. It's like I know
you got a backup plan.
I know what it's going to be. Self-striping sock yarn in particular, it's going to be a sock.
Right.
You know what I mean? Basically, It's going to be a sock. So the place where I have to check myself is buying sweaters worth of stuff. It's so tempting to buy a sweater's worth of yarn, and I have 8 or 9 sweaters worth of yarn in my stash, and I haven't been knitting sweaters. I'm not in a sweater knitting mode right now. And so I have to be careful about that. And fiber, I have so much fiber, and I have not been spinning as much, and I want to correct that this year, but it's crazy for me to keep spending money on stuff coming in when nothing's coming out.
Right.
At least with the self-striping sock yarn, it's going out. It's coming out. I'm knitting on average 1 to 2 pair a month, so I'm getting rid of the self-striping sock yarn.
But see, the sock yarn is also easier because it doesn't always have to be socks. The striping, yes, maybe.
But all the other stuff, same thing. Yeah.
This is a gradient. It's not, I have made socks with this yarn, not this particular yarn, but this name brand yarn. It's one of my favorite pairs. But the other 2 skeins, or the other 2 lots that I've made scarves out of.
Yeah.
And so, that's the good thing about with sock yarn is you have more versatility.
It could be mittens, it could be hats.
But it's easier to spend $24.
And you can get a project out of it. For sure there are several options for a project.
Right, mittens, hat, socks, scarf, sweaters if you buy more than 1 skein.
Right, well that's the problem with worsted weight yarn. It's almost silly to buy just 1 skein of worsted weight yarn.
Unless you're specifically making a hat.
Right, unless you're doing something specific with it. And that's why I have to be careful not to buy more sweaters worth of stuff until I get my sweater knit mojo back.
See, and that's probably why my worsted stash is mostly scraps because well, I don't tend to make sweaters worth, for one thing. I don't do sweaters. And if I need anything that I want, I go to Michael's or AC Moore for the patterns.
Yeah.
Because I like their wool. Although I'm thinking about it, I do have a lot of nice worsted weight that I need to use. The rabbit.
Oh, yeah.
I got that. Plus Tess, what's her name?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now that I'm thinking about it.
I forgot you bought that.
Yes, so do I.
You know, it's so funny. This is related. So I'm talking with my friend Diane about my stash and how I found that bat that I really want to spin. And I was talking about my strategies for getting myself to spin more. And she was saying she wanted to knit that Hitafude cardigan as well. And she's like, I don't know if I have anything in my stash. And I was like, what about that red variegated yarn? And she's like, which one was that? And I'm like, you know that time that you and I went with Paulette to Webb's? And she's like, oh, yeah. And I said, you know what? It's terrifying that I know what's in your stash, like A, and the B, that I know it
better than you, a little bit, yeah.
Well, that was, and then we were talking about the time that we somehow bought 50 skeins of that red yarn, and we each took 25, and we don't know why.
And you still have, what, 12 or 13?
I still have at least 10. I think 10 or 11. I sold like a sweater's worth of it left. That was weird. We still don't understand how that happened.
You must have been on some sort of strong yarn fumes.
Well, it was in it was a warehouse sale, so I can only imagine that it must have been a really good deal to buy 50 skeins, and we were like, do it.
Yeah, see, that's why for me, sock yarn or DK or something like that is more, because for me, the mittens are the mitts I'll probably make, but hats I don't because they don't look good on me.
Well, I think that one style would look good on you. You just have to find a style. Out there somewhere is a hat style that would look good on you. But you know what? I'm
not really a hat person. I am a headband person. And I just
gotta... But you don't need any headbands.
Well, but I really want to do the calorimetry one?
Calorimetry?
Or whatever it is.
Calorimetry?
But
I know
I'd have to tweak it to my liking, that's all.
Yeah.
But I think that would look good on me. I don't know. We'll see. But I don't want to invest knitting on something that I'm never going to wear.
Yeah.
Especially with that yarn. Patents is different because it's inexpensive. The yarn that I bought there is not. Although that Tess yarn, I probably could make a scarf or something, but I wouldn't wear it. That's the problem. I know me. With certain designs, I won't wear. I won't. I just, I don't know.
Well,
that's why I stick to socks.
That's why it's a good thing we don't have any Baubles and Bling this week.
Yeah.
Crushes and heartbreaks. My heartbreak that I meant to tell you about last week. So Sheila and I both received a set of interchangeables. What are they called? Knitter's Pride.
Nova Patina. Like
as a gift. And they're wonderful. I love them. I've used them for everything. So I was casting on... I'm pretty sure it was the Tousle hat, and I needed to have 4s, 5s, and like a 2 or something. So I get my 4s out. It was just for the ribbing.
It's 4 through 10?
Right. And I had a 2, but I got out the 4 and the 5, and I had to do the ribbing on the smaller needle. So I got the 4 out. I screwed one end onto the little one because I was going to knit on the little short cable that we have.
Right.
Because it's a hat. And I go to screw the second tip on, and it won't screw onto the cable. Like, it won't screw all the way down. There's, like, a huge gap. And I'm like, oh, the cable must be bad. So I unscrew it, and I get another cable out, because I have 2 of the really short cables. I think they both came with the kit.
I think so.
I pull the other one out. I go to screw it on. It won't screw onto that cable. And I'm like, oh, no. So I get out a random other tip, and I screw that onto both cables, and it works fine. So the screw thing on one of my 4s is bad. I have to, write to Knitter's. I'm sure they'll replace it. But it won't screw all the way in. I tried forcing it. I was like, maybe there was just a little nubbin in there that needed to come off. I cannot make it screw all the way on. And I was so bummed out. I used the 5s to knit the rest of the hat. Actually, I used the 4 with that little gap because it was just a short amount, but the yarn kept getting stuck.
Like what I was dealing with this.
Yes, it's not good. It's some kind of a manufacturing.
You could break the yarn if it gets stuck enough.
I could break the yarn. I could break off the screw part. It needs to be replaced. It's clearly some kind of a defect with that one tip. It's just one of my 4s. Fortunately, I have a number of 4s in my signature needles, so I usually don't use 4s in my interchangeables. I just really wanted to for that project because I could put them on the hat size cable. So that was a bummer. I was kind of bummed out.
Sounds like a bummer.
Let's see. So that's one heartbreak. My crushes. I don't have a crush. I can't think of anything good that's happened this week. I have been like a slug this week. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the weather, how cold it is. I've just been like, I haven't really been knitting that much. I didn't work on my cross stitch. I'm just like a slug. So I guess that's a heartbreak. I'm a slug.
Yeah, I was going to say the same for me. Crushes and heartbreaks is, I haven't lost my knitting mojo, but it certainly was there when I was on vacation because I had the time. Yeah. And, I was taking my kids and waiting with them and stuff. Excuse me. I come home and I'm exhausted. I'm just not mentally there to knit. And I think that's why I cast on a hat, because that is completely mindless. So, this is too. It's not that it's not mindless. It's just...
I enjoyed knitting that quite a bit.
The hat is even more mindless than this, which is scary. But my mental capacity at night, I am so exhausted. And it's not physically exhausting. It's mentally exhausting from work because we're dealing with the drama of work where people aren't willing to work.
Yeah.
Or, you're dealing with patients who are hard sticks or whatever it may be.
It wears you out.
That when I come home, and 9 times out of 10, I am not leaving when I scheduled to leave because I don't want to leave my coworkers in the lurch. We are getting some more help, so hopefully that won't be an issue. And then I gotta go home and make dinner.
I don't know how you do it.
And, a lot of the nights it's been fend for yourself or leftovers, and I know my husband isn't happy about it, but what it is I haven't had to work a 40-hour or a regular job in 8+ years. And I know I've been throwing that excuse out. You're getting used to it, but we're trying to get used to it.
Yeah. And
it's not easy. And it's been a while that, I haven't been home that's not even including the 3 shifts a week that I did for the 12 hours.
Yeah.
But those, I don't know. It's a little different, but
you'll get through it.
I will. I'll get through it. I think this is really. I'm enjoying this. I am enjoying this. It's really. I will say it's just really daunting when you keep looking at this. I'm like, oh, I got that much left to go through.
See, my attitude was the opposite. I have too much left.
Well, see, now I'm afraid that I'm not going to get to the part where I want to be on this. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't do it the exact way that she wanted to, but I thought I left enough. I mean, I only knit this much with the other skeins, so they really shouldn't. Do you know what I mean? That's not a lot from here to here.
I don't know. I don't know how the math works for that.
I don't know either, but
it'll probably be fine. You can always rip
extend
back
it
and cut out a section of the red, so that it's... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. I know.
Because there's a whole section where it's pretty much the same color. You could cut some of that out if you had to and re-knit. It would not be ideal.
Yeah, that's not going to happen ever.
But
either that or I could just knit further. But I don't know. We'll figure something out. We'll see what happens. But a funny story is I was knitting this at lunch today, and my coworker's looking at me like, I don't understand it. This is Linda, the other knitter, and she's definitely a visual learner. Like,
yeah.
She goes, I don't understand what you're doing. How are you knitting? And then, I showed her Oh, okay. Now, yeah, it was so funny. So we were,
because of that weird, like, tongue.
Well, she's like, yeah,
snake tongue shape at the end is weird.
She's like, this too. She's like, I don't understand. And then I'm trying to show her, and it's hard to show somebody whose English is not their first language and trying to talk to somebody about it. And then she asked me, we happen to see a patient with a fisherman's sweater.
Yeah.
An Irish fisherman's sweater, or whatever you want to call it, the cable net.
Right.
And she was looking at the balls.
Baubles?
Yes, thank you. I'm like, for some reason, she's like, do you know how to do that? I said, sort of, but not really. I try and avoid them. I'm all about mindless. So I showed her a YouTube video on how to do it. Then she's like, I got to learn how to do all the separate pieces before, because she wants to make one. What?
Nothing.
Yes, something. What? What, that I couldn't remember baubles?
The balls and how you want to avoid them, and I'm just like 12. I don't know. That just went the wrong way.
Remind me afterwards. I got something to tell you. Anyways, the baubles, I'm like, I don't really know how, but at lunch I showed her a YouTube video on how to do it, and she's like, I'll bring mine in and so that you can get me set up so I can watch them. But she's like, I need to learn all that part of a sweater, like how to cable. She knows how to cable. But I'm like, oh, Linda, that's so easy. You already know the hard part, knitting and purling.
I know.
But I'm like, my goal in life is to someday knit a fisherman cable type sweater.
Oh, that would be cool. My mother, by the way, is rocking the Fish Lips Kiss heel now
good
on
for
every
her.
pair of
Good.
socks.
And our friend Denise has finished her second heel.
I am so proud of her.
I am proud of her too.
You go, girl!
I can't wait to see the socks.
I know.
Call me so we can work on some Blue Moon together. You got Blue Moon. Don't tell me you don't have any Blue Moon. They just don't make striping.
I don't know if I do.
Oh, I could probably.
Well, she's already opted out of the Hitafude knit along.
Yeah, that ain't happening either for me.
So you guys can do your own
Yeah,
knit along.
you guys do the Hitafude whatever knit along, and we'll do our Blue Moon knit along. Could probably get Lois to join with the Blue Moon too, because she's
Lois
not
was opting out of the Hitafude, yeah.
So I'll throw that out there on our text. Whoever doesn't
do.
want to do the Hitafude can do the Blue Moon.
I'm sure everybody in that group has Blue Moon.
Oh, I'm sure, and I'm sure you have a skein somewhere too.
Oh, I imagine I have a couple of skeins somewhere.
I could probably give you one of mine. You know, I have a couple extra. 30 some odd. Anyways, that's my crushes and heartbreaks. I guess. I don't know.
Oh, what was I going to say? I was going to tell you something, but I forget. It'll come to me.
Figure it out. Gossip and innuendo?
Ooh, I remember what I was going to say. So, remember how I was telling you I bought this cloth, and it's called Ada cloth, and I like it better than linen?
Yeah.
It's actually pronounced Aida, like the opera.
Oh.
But I didn't know that because I've never seen Aida spelled without an umlaut over the I. But one of our viewers told me, and I'm like, oh, that totally makes sense because the other lines of their cloth have different music-related names.
How do you pronounce it?
Aida.
And what's the thing that's over there? Over the I?
An umlaut.
Okay.
This is an umlaut.
I'm sure I know what an umlaut is.
It's spelled, that's going to be backwards. Oh, no, it isn't. It's spelled like this, and an umlaut is...
Oh, all right.
2 dots over the I. That's how I've only ever saw Aida spelled. This brand just doesn't have an umlaut, but when I look on the internet, you can spell Aida either way. Did not know that. So I learned something new.
Okay.
Score.
Good to know.
Gossip and innuendo, we are going to draw. We already drew. What am I saying?
We already randomly
drew the people. I'm going to announce them now. All of you, I'm going to give your names to Amy from Spunky Eclectic, and she will contact you with either sending you the pattern or about the person who won yarn. Number 1, who won the yarn and the pattern, is Sammy Loves Yarn, Samantha. She was post number 36.
Sorry, just locking the thread.
And so Samantha, you're gonna get the yarn for the design and the pattern.
Cool.
Score. The second person who won the PDF pattern is Knit Fantasy. She was post number 52, and her name is Valerie. Valerie, you're going to be getting that pattern. And the last person who also won a PDF copy of the pattern is Tinkerer. She was post number 73. Leslie, you are going to win the pattern too. Thank you guys for playing along with that. That was fun.
It was fun.
I liked reading all the different color combinations that people were going to do. I thought that was cool. I love mine. I haven't worn it yet because I really need to weave the ends in.
Why? I wore a cowl the other day that my ends weren't woven and I just kind of tucked it in.
I know, but with a hat, that always bothers me. I wear socks that have the ends not tucked
you tucking the ends up here. Why does it make
For some reason, it always comes out. I don't know.
Oh, just a side note on the hat, the Lined Beanie that I did.
Yeah.
I did tack down the hem on the inside.
Oh, yeah.
Because it kept coming undone.
Oh, yeah, I would do that too.
But I tacked it down. Like, people who knit it in with it, you can kind of see a line. I don't like that look, so I tacked it down very loosely because it stretches, and so that you can't see a line.
Yeah, what I did for that is I did on my socks where I made the little picot edge, I did Jenny's Surprisingly Stretchy Bind Off, and I tacked that down very loosely so that it still had the give, but you didn't see a line from knitting it together. I also find that knitting it together makes it a little too firm.
Right. Well, I didn't knit it. I just tacked it down very loosely.
That's why I tacked it down.
And it's funny because at the end, it was I just tied in, like, I wove in the ends, but then I just tied a knot and left whatever was there. I'm like, yeah, add an extra one. I don't care at this point.
So anyway, that's it for this week.
Like, it's not enough. We better get off. It's 5 more seconds. No, we got 2 minutes in the head.
At least 2 minutes.
I know.
But I think that's it for this week. I can't think of anything else. I talked about the Aida. I love it when I find out new stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now when I go into like a cross-stitch store, I'm going to be like, can I see what kind of Aida you have? And then I'm going to be like,
a hoity-toity.
Cool.
You're going to be hoity-toity with your cross-stitch.
I'm going to be like a cool cross-stitch kid.
Sure, whatever. I'm feeling my hair.
To the extent that you can be a cool cross-stitch.
Can you be a cool, crafty nerd? I don't think so.
I don't know. I guess among a certain group of people you can
Amongst us knitters, sure, you're cool.
The knitters
and crafty people.
Pretty cool.
So on that note, have a good week. Thanks for watching, guys.
Stay warm.
Knit with heart.
Knit with heart. Bye.